I've been working out for a while to where when you tend to do something long enough, it becomes a part of who you are. People know you for that, right? So when it comes to like the working out, the school, not only because it's my career field, when I was in the Navy, I was always yapping about it. So when that happens, like people will ask you. Now, I'm not somebody that's just gonna come up to you. The school thing, yeah. If you was walking around and we was stationed at the same command and you know, if I felt that, hey man, you should take advantage of this opportunity, I would mention it. But the working out stuff, not so much. Surprisingly. Like even at the gym, I'm not somebody that's gonna come up to you and be like, hey man, you should do this, man, and get this. Nah, I've never really been that. Like, that's never really been my I don't like when people do that to me. But when people ask me about like working out stuff or how I eat, there's always those compromising questions that come in there as well. It'll be like, man, you don't ever get tired of eating eggs or working out or right? People ask you that. You don't ever get tired of just eating chicken or do you ever miss this? Probably the drinking or how I used to eat. And the answer is always no. It is. It's no. For one, once I started doing things that were in my best interest, like on a permanent basis, I stopped missing the other stuff. And that's hard for a lot of people to believe, but you have to get to that point to understand it. Like, it's certain foods that I used to eat all the time that I can't even look at anymore because it wasn't good. It just I can't eat certain things that I used to love to eat. Like I said, I used to love donuts. But if I eat that now, my body will reject that. And I'm glad it's that way. So now when I see it, I'm just like, you'll smell it. You smell some donuts, you be like, Then you like, because you know the outcome of it. So nah, I don't miss it at all. I, you know, I made it that way. It's like paying bills. If you pay your bills every month, yeah, it sucks because you see your account go down because you're making the payments to them bills. But you feel a little better once you make that payment on time. You got a month now to where you can kind of deal with what you have to deal with. It's when you don't pay that bill. Say you get a new debit card or something, you forgot to put it on file and make it auto, and then you get that notification you didn't pay the bill. Then you're like, oh, that's how it is with how I choose to live my life. That is not going to be something that everyone understands though. But let's not act like we don't know what the goals that we have identified, how we should pursue them, or what the blueprint is. All that information has been the same. Exercise, eat right, don't drink this, don't do that. It's kind of the same. So yeah, I never miss it. And if I do, and that's a big if, I'll just move on to something else. If I'm tired of eggs, then I'll just go to fish for a little bit. Go to steak, beef. But I know that doing these things help me contribute to what my goals are. And I don't want to be like goaling somebody else. You ever see somebody, they'll share a picture of a celebrity and they'll be like, body goals. Nah, I think I know what I need to do, especially as I get older. Like, this is my midlife crisis, trying to be in the best shape. About to be 46 in October, getting the best every year. I try to do that. And people don't understand that because you're supposed to do what everybody else does. I'm supposed to go get a sports car, right? Maybe I get a toupee. But nah, I'm not about to. Nah, I like being in shape. I do. Like it is a self-respecting action I take every day for me. And believe it or not, the toughest thing for some people to do is to make that right decision. Few seconds. Should I eat that or shouldn't I eat that? Should I drink that or shouldn't I drink that? And the crazy part is we know, right? I chase the result. I get addicted to the result, not the dopamine moment. It is a moment. Because if you somebody that's like I say dieting and I air quote it because for me dieting is when you diet, you got all these fad diets. I just seen something called the sugar diet. You got all these hip, trendy, fad things that don't last. So you're a tourist. You go somewhere to visit and then you're going back to where you where you live all the time. That's how dieting is, especially if you haven't made the behavioral changes in your mind in order to make that stuff stick. So I don't diet. And then when you tell people about these things, they just be like, oh man, it's bad. You know that it's not good for you. Yet we'll continue to do it. And then when we can't get it to stick, then we start throwing accusations. People, man, I was 217, 206 the other day. Somebody commented Ozempic. Boy, y'all joke. As soon as y'all find out a new word, y'all want to use it. Ozempic wasn't popping when I was low carb 2012 to 2020. It was self control. I have the power of the fork. But we do that instead of, taking any type of self accountability, responsibility. I can promise you this, and genetics do come into play. But if you do right by you, and I'm not talking like showing everybody on social media you doing this, but behind the scenes, the numbers ain't adding up. If you like what I do, and I'm very open about it, I work out 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, I lift. Saturday, Sunday, some good cardio. Sometimes Saturday mornings though, I'll do like a full body, upper body, just to, burn some calories. I'm low carb right now. Before this, in between 2020 and now, I was just more carbs because I was doing a lot of cardio. 2012, I started low carb and got to 2020. I was low carb. Most of the week, I was under 50 grams. And I probably had a day to where I would cycle up. I would carb cycle. I don't drink. I don't smoke. It's always high protein with me. I'm 204 pounds now. So that's my goal when it comes to, my protein intake. But you remember, FDA had that freaking thing to where they allow certain companies to put, you can go lower than 20 grams of protein or higher than 20. You got to look into that to where they didn't really have to give you the accurate amount. So I try to go over 200 pounds. And I do that. And I'm able to see the results that I'm able to. It all kind of like falls into play. Now, a lot of the people that have an issue with it don't do that. I know plenty of dudes that as soon as you ask them how many grams of protein they're getting in, they don't know. You still drinking. Some people, it's social. It's a social norm. But it was counterproductive towards everything I needed to do for my workouts. So I don't do it. I don't smoke. I never smoked. So I never really got into that. But I realized once I do the things that I need to do for me, I'll see the results that I want. And I'm fine with that. So, yeah, those questions never, like, I get it because, before I started making those changes, I used to ask myself the same question. I would ask people like, man, you'll never get tired of doing this? You'll never get tired? Before I was willing to start. But then I realized when I was 300 pounds, I was doing the same things. They was just the bad habit stuff. I was eating the same crap. Jack in the Box. I would get like 3-4 jumbo jacks with cheese and a large Coke. Burger King, 3 double Whoppers with cheese and a large Coke. McDonald's, I was always getting like 2 double quarter pounder meals and 2 apple pies and a shake. And I'm lactose intolerant. What am I going to do with this shake? And only time people would question why I was doing the same thing was when it came to the alcohol. Because when it comes to like brown and clear liquor, there's like an East Coast, West Coast beef thing. I went from brown because I was drinking the cheap stuff like Parmesan, Erkin Jerk. And then I upscaled to Hennessy and Crown, and then I moved over to clear. So all the cats I used to drink with that would drink brown were like, man, what you drinking that clear for? That's the only time people would, you don't ever get tired of that? But with the food, nah, it was green as gold. So nah, I don't get tired of it. I like to feel better. I don't like eating certain things that make me all lethargic. I ain't like trying to be like I was when I was 300 pounds and pulling on my shirt all day. I don't like all that. I want abs. I want to have muscle. And to me, that's pride for myself, especially as I get older. I want that stuff. And I know what I need to do to get it. And when you develop those habits, it becomes permanent in your life. So it's easy for me. Not to sound bad, but I know what's wrong. I know what's right. I'm just going to do the right things.